Well, good morning. This is your Stoic Pilgrim. It's about, it's way early in the morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm getting ready to have a little bit of breakfast before I head out. It's starting to get a little bit of dawn and ready to start the new day. But I was kind of exhausted yet last night. So I just wanted to wrap up some of the things. So today is day 2. And I'm headed off to Zarautz. So that shouldn't be too bad a day today because of where I stayed last night. I think I got a little bit of a head start. Just a couple of things. Lessons learned and tips for future folks who want to do the Camino Del Norte. The first thing is, one of the things Stoicism talks about is living in the present, not worrying about the future and forgetting the past except to learn from it. So just want to talk about Saturday. As I was preparing, I was looking over my route and I realized, the place where I stayed at is a little bit off of the Camino path, and I was worried about how far it was going to take. In the past, when I was on the Camino Frances, I'd stayed at a place that was miles away, and it took me hours to get both to the start of the trail and to the place, and then the end of the trail, or the start of the trail the next morning. And the worst thing was the place was not worth it. It was basically a couple of rooms above a gas station. Very disappointed in that stay. But so I was kind of afraid of repeating the same thing to begin my trip. And so I kind of started stressing. Then I just remembered, not going to pay interest on a debt that I'm not sure I'm going to incur. And when I got there, I kind of checked out the town. As you saw, I checked out Arun. And then I found that it was just a 20-minute walk to the start of the trail. It wasn't on the trail, but it was just a 20-minute walk. And actually, it was a pretty pleasant walk. And when I got there, when I started the trail, I encountered some folks and we started talking, so it worked out pretty well. So that stress I was feeling Saturday night that I was successfully able to do away with actually worked out quite well. Now, lessons learned, now looking back on my past, and not regretting it, but just trying to go through some lessons learned. So there's one of the things to do is as I said, if I had known then what I know now, what I probably would have done was I probably would have started on the path right away after my plane landed, gotten a few miles, and might have stayed at a place along the way. Probably would have stayed at Passeus. Yeah, and that probably would have made things a lot easier yesterday. It would have been shorter. It would have been my first day. That's what happened on the Frances. Rather than try to make it all the way to Roncesvalles last year, I stayed at Orasan. And it was a very short first day, but it made it so much easier than trying to go all the way to Roncesvalles. And I recommend that if you folks are thinking about doing the northern route, don't necessarily go to Sam Sabastian that entire first day. Now, I will say this, the downside of this is that, as you can see from some of the pictures, Sam Sabastian's a very happening place. And they got some really cool things going on. So, I don't know, maybe you do want to stay in San Sebastian, bite the bullet and take that long first day. As I said, you can do that, but maybe you want to break it up into 2 days and stay one day, make 2 very short days and stay in San Sebastian. So that was one of the things that I would throw out there is you might want to be able to think of trying to break up this first day a little bit more. Yesterday was tough. I'll admit it. It was there were a lot of hills, and this morning when I woke up, my backpack, boy, it sure seemed heavier than it did yesterday morning. And I don't have as much stuff in it, so I don't know what's going on here. But anyways, it was a good day. It's been a good trip. I'm only 1 day into it. I met some great people yesterday, and I'm looking forward to another good day. Oh, another important point. For those of you familiar with Francais, someone's getting a coffee behind me in one of the vending machines. One of the things about the Francais is there's a lot of support. So you can go along, like my custom was to start in the morning, get breakfast maybe an hour or two in. Del Norte, not as popular, so therefore there aren't as much support as there is for Francais. So you may end up going without lunch, as I did yesterday, because there just wasn't anything along the way. Now, there was a joke on the Francais with some of my friends called the emergency banana. And your emergency banana is very important. It's just carry some fruit with you, and that way when you're going along the way, you can make sure that you have something to eat in case you're running low. People are starting to wake up here, it's starting to get kind of noisy in the background. Maybe I'll continue these thoughts later. In any event, this is your Stoic Pilgrim getting ready to head off for day 2, hoping to make it to Zarautz in a timely manner and be able to relax a little bit. So talk to you later, folks, and gosh, I need a shave, don't I? Talk to you later. Buen Camino, and this is me signing off for now. Bye. With all due respect to the Daily Show, I'd like to start this morning with just a brief moment of Zen. On to Zarautz. Just another quick video. Not only does it sound pretty right here and peaceful and quiet, but I wish you could smell it. It has such a lovely smell. I don't know what these trees are or what the flowers are, but my goodness, look at this. It just smells and feels just wonderful this morning. What a great day to be alive. What a great place to be. So here we are at a Donativo, I guess they call them. But it's a little stop along the way. This woman provides coffee and tea and some very good cake, and all for a donation. So you can expect these along the way. This is the first one I've actually seen on the Del Norte. In the past, if you go on the Francais, you see quite a bit of them. But as I said, there's not as quite the infrastructure on Del Norte as there are as in Francais. But this was a pleasant stop, so I stopped and had some coffee and a little cake and donated a little bit so that to pay for it. And so that's our stop for today, or at least this morning, and it's on to Zarautz. So here we are in St. Martin. I think it's St. Martin, in the main square here. So we'll be moving on shortly, but I think I may stop and get something cool to drink. I think I've earned it. So here's some additional pilgrims, some locals. Okay, time to get something to drink. So here we are cresting the hill on the way into Zarautz. Almost there, folks. Maybe about a mile or so more. You see this scene though? I captured it in a still picture. It reminds me of something that when I was a kid, my wife and I both remember this movie. She said it scared the heck out of her. It's nowadays you watch it and you kind of laugh, but it's a movie called Invaders from Mars. And the poster for the film had this
something very similar to this. And as I was approaching it, I came up on it and thought, oh, this is hilarious. I got to capture this. Anyways, here's some grapevines. I tried to listen, but I didn't hear anything through the grapevine today. But no grapes, it's too early in the season. And by the way, if you ever do the Camino and you're walking through countryside like this, you can tell I'm quite tired, right? And you see grapes, don't ever pick them. Just remember, there's thousands of pilgrims that come through here, and it would be like locusts on these poor farmers with their grapevines. So come on, let's get into Zarautz and have a nice cool drink.